Iranian state TV has been hit by an Israeli strike in the last few hours. Dramatic pictures. It caused the channel to go off air altogether. And in the last half hour, Iran has condemned that attack as a war crime. It came shortly after Israel issued an evacuation order for a large part of the Iranian capital, Tehran, saying it had plans to strike military infrastructure that would endanger the life of civilians in the area. It is the fourth day now of missile strikes between the two countries, which started early on Friday when Israel launched a series of surprise attacks targeting nuclear sites and killing Iran's most senior military commanders. Now, Iran restricts access to the country for journalists, but BBC Verify has been using satellite imagery to confirm those attacks on both nuclear and military sites. So here are some of the locations where strikes have been carried out just in the last few days. This is a missile base in Big Khane. Compared with an older image, this satellite image taken yesterday clearly shows damage to the roof. And Isfahan is one of Iran's key nuclear sites. It was confirmed over the weekend that 4 critical buildings at this site were damaged, including the uranium conversion facility. On this satellite image, you can now see visible damage to the buildings there. Well, the BBC is not allowed to broadcast from inside Iran, but our colleagues at BBC Persian have been keeping across the situation. Farham Gabadi has this report.
Iranian state TV came under attack during its live coverage. Iran's capital has been under heavy bombardment in recent days. This is Tehran only a few hours ago. Many residents have tried to flee, especially after Israel asked people to evacuate areas near military facilities. But for many, escaping has proven impossible due to paralyzing traffic. One man inside Iran told us why he stayed behind.
I gave up because of the heavy traffic. On the other hand, our entire building has been evacuated and someone needs to stay behind to look after the neighbors' belongings. Besides, smaller towns don't have the capacity to accommodate such a large population.
But it's not just Tehran. Strikes are hitting almost every corner of Iran. This is a hospital in the western city of Kermanshah. Iran says Israel was behind the strike. A human rights group and local sources say a missile launcher was deployed nearby, and it may have been the real target. Either way, this is the reality of war. Civilians paying the highest price. The historic city of Isfahan was struck multiple times yesterday. And in the religious city of Mashhad, the Israeli military says it hit refueling aircraft at the airport, some 2,300 kilometers from its borders. Longest range Israeli strike since the beginning of the conflict. Authorities in Iran say it's not only the fighter jets. Israel also has boots on the grounds.
The most significant blows by the enemy are carried out by local spies.
Iranian police say they've raided a drone workshop in southern Tehran. They say Israeli agents assemble drones inside the country and then load them onto pickup trucks to launch them from there. Iranians say there are no sirens and no shelters. Many feel they're trapped in a war they never chose after decades of repression. Farham Gabadi, BBC News.
Well, here in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the country is on the way to achieving victory, claiming that it has full aerial control over Tehran. Overnight, Iranian missiles penetrated Israel's air defences, killing 8 people in attacks in Tel Aviv, Haifa and other cities. Our Middle East correspondent Lucy Williamson has the latest from Tel Aviv.
Israel started this war to make Israelis safer, it said, seeing Iran's ballistic missiles as a separate existential threat. Last night, several slipped again through Israel's defences. One landing right in the heart of Tel Aviv. The speed of Israel's offensive in Iran is fueled by the knowledge that this is what happens when a single missile lands. The bar Victoria opened here 25 years ago was a few meters from the impact site. Still in shock, she told me Israel needed to keep up its attacks. We need to finish this so it's final, she said, and not postpone it again for another few years. Are you scared? I asked her. Yes, very. At an airbase today, Israel's Prime Minister praised their achievements. The military said it had destroyed a third of Iran's missile launchers.
The
Israeli Air Force is in control of the skies of Tehran. This is a change in the entire campaign. We are on the way to achieving both of our goals, the prevention of nuclear threat and the missile threat.
But how much damage can Israel do to Iran's nuclear program? Some of it buried deep underground in secret sites.
We cannot delay it by more than 2 or 3 weeks. And to the best of my judgment, even the Americans cannot delay it for more than few months. And that's a sensitive issue. It means that if there is a determined, a serious intention to block Iran from turning into military nuclear power, the only way is to announce a full-scale war on the regime itself and carry it on until they are toppled down.
Many Israelis remain firmly behind this war as casualties here begin to mount. Israel's army is now pushing hard on Iran's capital city without any sign of a clear end or exit plan. Lucy Williamson, BBC News, Tel Aviv.